I'm ready. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to go through my May TBR. So I had quite a lot of books I had to read in April for various videos, and during the month of April I had a lot of books that I acquired that I desperately wanted to read. So this is just going to be me reading all those books that I really wanted to read for various projects. So let's get into it. So first off, I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown in the month of April and realized that I may have a slight obsession with Talia Hibbert, and not really the romance genre in general. I still don't think I'm gonna go like fully into romance, but at least I need to finish the Brown Sisters trilogy because my god, it was so amazing and I am so excited about this. So I really would like to read in May Take a Hint, Danny Brown, and Act Your Age, Eve Brown, both by Talia Hibbert. So these are such stunning covers. Can we just talk about how beautiful these are? I love the colors, I love the artwork, and I am just so excited about these. I did not think that I was ever going to be like into romance. And like I said, I still don't feel 100% like I need to read all of the romance that exists or like fully delve into romance, but I just love the way that Talia Hibbert writes romance and love, and these characters are so fully developed, and I'm just so excited to read both of these. So these are definitely happening in May. Okay, next up is a book that I've been wanting to read for a while. So in October, I read I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid, and I was completely obsessed. It became my favorite book of 2020. And right after I read that, I purchased his other book and just proceeded to not read it until now. So it is Foe by Ian Reid. I am going to be buddy reading this with a coworker of mine, and I am really looking forward to it. I know almost nothing about it. It seems like another just very suspenseful, kind of psychological, weird book. And I'm into that. So her and I are going to be reading this in May. Hopefully we both get it done in May. And I always love a buddy read, so I hope that I really enjoy this. If this is not amazing, I'm going to be very disappointed, because at this point it's been like being hyped up in my mind ever since October when I read I'm Thinking of Ending Things. So I have very high hopes for this book. Speaking of buddy reads, I am hoping to read McGlue by Ottessa Moshfegh with another friend of mine who loves Ottessa Moshfegh. We read Death in Our Hands together a few months ago, so we're going to read McGlue, and as far as I know, this is a kind of novella about pirates, I think. So this should be really interesting because it's also told from, I believe, a male perspective, and I haven't read a whole lot of Ottessa Moshfegh from a male narrator perspective. Most of her books are female narrators. So that should be really interesting. Next up is a book that I may or may not get to. It is yet again a buddy read, and that is Dragon Slayer by Tui T. Sutherland. This is another Wings of Fire book. It's in the Legends kind of category of Wings of Fire. And this is a very big book, but my boyfriend and I are hopefully going to read this soon. Hopefully we'll get to it in May. But it is basically a story told from the human's perspective instead of the dragon's perspective. So that should be really interesting because honestly, we don't get a lot of humans in the regular Wings of Fire series. They kind of come up occasionally, but the dragons call them scavengers, and they don't talk and they don't have like community or anything really. They're just kind of like little animals that dragons see. So this will be interesting to actually hear about dragons from a human perspective, which we really haven't gotten yet. So looking forward to this one. Okay, next I have a few books for a kind of secret project that I'm doing. First is Bunny by Mona Awad. I've heard so many wonderful things about this book, and if not wonderful, then just very overwhelmed and confused. Everyone either loves this book or thinks that it's absolutely terrible and that it's just completely crazy. So we'll see how I feel about it. Then I have Promising Young Woman by Suzanne Scanlon, I think. I know not a lot about this book other than that it's kind of a young woman in her early 20s kind of going crazy, and that's very up my alley. On the back it says, or it talks about Sylvia Plath and it being kind of in that tradition, which, you know, I'm all about Sylvia Plath and the Bell Jar and all of that. So I'm looking forward to this one. And again, it's for that project. And this cover is just magnificent. So I am very excited to read this one. Next, we have Of Vengeance by J.D. Curtness. This is kind of a female revenge kind of book where she just goes around and she hurts and kills all these people who've done bad things. So this should be very interesting. It's a very short book. I got it on a trip a couple months ago to the local bookshop with my boyfriend, and I just picked it out. It was kind of a bookshop find of just pulling it off the shelf and reading it, and sounded really interesting. So I'm going to be reading this one in May. And then finally, I have This Is Pleasure by Mary Gaskill. So this is a book that Carly from the channel UnCarly has recommended multiple times. I love Carly. She's so fun to watch. But no, the video that I'm kind of talking about is not just going to be me reading her favorite books. That's not what I'm doing. But I did want to take up her advice on reading this book. It is about the Me Too movement, or kind of inspired by the Me Too movement. It is a novel though, and it's just about gender relationships. It sounds really interesting and sounds like it'll be both an interesting novel in terms of like the characters, but also really make you think about the situation that's being discussed. So I'm really excited about it. The cover is super interesting, and I think it'll be really great. These are all the books that I want to read in May. I'm very excited about all of them. If you want more in-depth reviews and updates on what I think about these, check out my Instagram, and I will be posting about all of these, I'm sure, so stay tuned for that. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these, feel free to let me know what you think of them. I'd love to know your opinion, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.